looking down from the skyline of Nigeria. And a coastline that runs 530 miles between its international borders and a territorial right that extends more than 200 nautical miles into the Atlantic. Over 34 million hectares of arable land. The land is green. With the Nigerian population projected to rise to 262 million by 2030 and 398 million by 2050. Little wonder that Dangote Industries Limited, a true leader in the Nigerian business space, seized the initiative to actualize a vision where Nigeria will be self-sufficient to cater to its own agricultural consumption. So, the Dangote Industries Limited dreamed up an ambitious project in 2014 to build the largest granulated urea fertilizer complex in Africa. Along with this ambition came some very challenging scenarios. Dangote Fertilizer Complex was to sit on 500 hectares of land at the Lekki Free Trade Zone, an equivalent of about 700 football fields. First, the land had to be debushed, followed by sand filling. With over 100 years of experience, Royal Boskalis of Netherlands, one of the world's best, was contracted to handle this sand filling. And over 750,000 tons of sand was used for this 500 hectares. August 2015, piling commenced. This project that will cost over $2.5 billion consists of two 2,200 metric tons per day ammonia plants, two 4,000 metric tons per day urea plants, two 4,000 metric tons per day urea granulation plants, a captive power plant comprising of 3 steam turbine generators of 40 megawatts capacity each, a total of 120 megawatts, and 3 auxiliary boilers for 40 ATA steam generation of 200 TE capacity each. These equipment are huge, and getting them to site was as ambitious as the project itself. – 1:52 p.m. 18th November 2016. Via Papa Jetty. Beyond the energy of activity known with Lagos, a first of its kind was unraveling in Africa's most populous country, the movement of massive equipment for the Dangote Fertilizer Complex, a bold and audacious endeavor. This ODC ammonia converter is the weight of 14 trailers of cement containing 600 bags each, or imagine transporting 126 3-bedroom bungalows. All steps in loading into a barge must be observed, one of which is observing the tide of the sea. It took 2 long hours to achieve the right tide. Loading just the ammonia converter took over 6 hours, and 8 of these ODCs of different sizes were loaded onto the barge. 2 days later, 11:20 a.m., the barge set sail on a slow but highly technical journey. At 2:57 p.m., the barge arrives Ikko Bridge, covering a distance of less than 2 kilometers in 4 hours. An Abuja shuttle airplane would have made the journey 4 times over. The extremely slow barge rolled past 3rd Mainland Bridge at sunset and sailed into the Ekpe Naval Jetty at sunrise. Then comes phase 2 of the journey, moving the ODCs from Ekpe Jetty to the construction site. 8th December 2016, the Lekki Ekpe axis marveled at the sight of such overwhelming presence. To avoid social disruptions to life along the route, there was a high-level coordination between the Dangote Group and all stakeholders. On hand to receive the towering cargo is a 450-ton capacity crane to offload the ODC ammonia converters to its new home. Understanding that Nigeria would need about 5 to 7 million metric tons fertilizer per annum, and with the current levels at about 1.7 million metric tons per annum, the Dangote Fertilizer complex will be producing 3 million metric tons per annum of urea fertilizer in just its phase 1. Fertilizers like NPK and DAP will be added in the next phases. The construction of the fertilizer complex was to go on for another 4 years. From when the civil works began, it was obvious history was in the making. The year 2017 signaled the beginning of the erection of the different components of the fertilizer complex. The ammonia Train 1 houses 2,000 metric tons per day plants. The urea plant Train 1 also has 4,000 metric tons per day urea plants. The granulation unit, which is designed based on the UD technology, contains 4,000 metric tons per day. This fertilizer complex generates its own power from this steam turbine generator with a 40 megawatt capacity, and there are 3 of them. These pipelines supply 17 million standard cubic feet per day of natural gas to the fertilizer complex over a distance of 500 kilometers from Escravos. This gas will act as both feedstock and supply for the steam turbine generators. This construction was carried out by over 2,918 engineers, putting in over 34 million man-hours. In the course of the construction, the complex produced about 5,000 direct and indirect jobs in all categories, an additional 5,000 within the community, and also created 500 permanent jobs. Today, the Dangote Fertilizer Complex is a reality, with future plans to customize fertilizer products, invest in blending plants, warehouses, and extension services like soil test based on recommendation on type, timing, and quantity of fertilizer to be applied, farmer meetings, demonstrations, etc. And build NPK and DAP plants of 500,000 metric tons per annum capacity.
I believe in the next 2-3 years, the agricultural space in this country will completely change from what I have seen and from what I discussed with him and his lieutenants.
This project is so strategically positioned that it will even make the final cost of the final price of petroleum within Nigeria, even outside Nigeria, to even be lower than those import alternatives that come from different parts of the world. We will want to support any Nigerian or any foreigner who feels that he finds Nigeria as a good investment destination. Whatever we need to do to help you, we will do it.
As the Dangote Fertilizer Company rolls out its products, it will change the lives of Nigerians forever. Not only will it provide jobs and create opportunities across the value chain, it will also ensure exponential growth in the agricultural sector, as local supply of fertilizer will be guaranteed and there will be enough to export overseas. This will see Nigeria saving $200 million in import substitution and provide $600 million from exports of products from the fertilizer plant.
We are doing a soil mapping across the country by testing. Then we are trying to make customized fertilizer. We'll be doping with micronutrients. In one area there may be zinc is deficient. It was an experience in Ethiopia, for example. They analyzed and found that zinc was deficient. They added, and there was an enormous boost in the productivity, yield of the crops. So it could be zinc, it could be manganese, it could be copper, it could be something else. So we will analyze and identify the deficiencies and dope it with micronutrients so that the farmer can get the real benefit.
The vision and the realization of the Dangote Fertilizer Complex is one of corporate adventure and compassion, built on the passion of touching the lives of Nigerians and transforming the country and pushing her to realizing her potential as the giant of Africa. The landscape of Nigeria will definitely not look the same in years to come. From Abuja to Lagos, across the length and breadth of the country, the agricultural potential of Nigeria will be unlocked.